About seeing my cock. Hey there, Limit here. You know the drill by now. We're on the 5th part of the J.A.I.son prototype. In case you're new here though, we're making a budget Neurosama, who's an AI-powered VTuber and soon to be the best VTuber streamer. But it's been, what, 2 months? And we still just have a glorified Discord bot. But that changes today. If you made it to this video, you're either deep in a coding rabbit hole or deep in an AI VTuber rabbit hole. And if you're deep in the coding rabbit hole, there's a good chance you've got an anime profile picture. So by transitivity, you know what a VTuber is. But if somehow you don't know what a VTuber is, then it's not too late to turn around. You can still save yourself. According to Wikipedia, a VTuber, or virtual YouTuber, is an online entertainer who uses a virtual avatar generated using computer graphics. The term started with Kazuna Ai, and no, the I is not for AI, and now they're taking over the streaming world. These avatars aren't animated the same as traditional anime, because not even Mappa's overworked artists can keep up with this demand. Instead, you're meant to have real people with cameras tracking their movements and applying it to specially made models of cat girls and wolf boys in either 3D or 2D space. What I'm doing is replacing the real person with AI.
They took our jobs! They took your jobs!
Okay, that sounds kind of bad. We're building an AI companion. Yes, that sounds better. But no, seriously, no one is getting replaced by this thing. Becoming a 2D VTuber has a pretty low barrier to entry, with so many programs for this sort of thing. VTube Studio is probably the biggest and most used today, but I've never used this thing before. So I guess I gotta figure it out. Why is nothing showing up? BTS? Oh my god, it's Neurosama. Can't even scroll unless I... Oh shit, she can do flips! Yo! How the fuck? I still don't know how to open the sidebar. How do I open the sidebar? Are these buttons making your emotes? They are. I don't know how these... Okay, I'm so confused. How do I exit out of this?
Huh?
Double tap screen. Oh!
You stupid.
Whoa. Would you look at that? We need to figure out a way to send face information to VTube Studio, so I'm not the one doing these facial gestures. I'll get better at this the more I use it, but here's the current plan. Just like how people make Biden heads say the wildest shit, we can also make an AI model that generates a talking head based on the response we generate for Discord. We could send this video data to VTube Studio as though it were just a normal camera feed, and the VTube model will move with the face and mouth synced to the words. Okay, so let's go find some talking face things. Our method generates video frames at a 512 by 512 size at 45 FPS with a preceding latency of 170. Ooh. It's not quite open.
Real-time AI chat demo developed by J.A.I.son.
How long did it take for him to say that?
Hello.
Fuck! They do a monthly billing. 32 minutes of streaming video? Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. Echo Mimic. Now, generate video. This is the face that I just tried using.
Welcome to use Echo Mimic.
It is kind of creepy, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna go ahead and give Echo Mimic a try. But there are a lot of models to download, and each one is pretty big. So in the meantime, I want to try something new. So it's time for the grand reveal. Holy shit. It's actually pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. That right there is peak design. But anyways, the Echo Mimic models finally finished downloading after some hours, so I guess it's time to give it a try. There's a problem. The cache download thing. Yeah, I don't know why it's just frozen. We'll just let it cook. Let's see. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It doesn't blink? Does Nero even blink when she's talking? Now, with OBS, how is this going to work? I want to only use the virtual camera for that video. Can I launch a second instance of OBS maybe? Set up in portable mode. What is this?
Controlling OBS on Windows.
What the fuck is this video? Let me see if I can open another OBS instance though. Okay. We got one here. And we got one here. So this one is the main one that I'm recording from right now. This other one I'm going to configure to capture a specific window. We're in a conversation. and you can't respond verbally, telling you to hold conversations entirely through speech. If this takes another hour to run again, we're gonna have some serious issues. Yeah, so that's not gonna work. I'm not sure if I'm just using this wrong. I don't know. And quite frankly, I just need some time to think of a better solution. Oh my god, what the fuck? But if I press 1... Hello, hello? Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait. This is the key. So what did I do here? I actually got it from this guy called Sugarcane Defender. I'll probably link this down in the description below because I think this guy is doing fantastic work. What he's basically doing is making a VTube Studio plugin in order to trigger certain animations, which I feel like will give us a cleaner result in terms of the animation. Because when we looked at the talking heads that we got from Echo Mimic, the results of it, you basically only have a headshot of it. It's not moving around that much. If you look at Neurosama, even in the very beginning as well, she was a lot more expressive and, well, has a lot more side-to-side movement. I remember that I didn't show how I got this mouth part working in the previous recording, but essentially what I'm effectively doing is using lip sync. We have these two parameters over here, mouth open and mouth form. When you're talking in different frequencies, it's determined by how you shape your mouth. When it comes to mouth open, we're adjusting that to volume. Even if I cover my mouth and keep talking, the mouth is still opening and closing. So what we're essentially going to do now, we're instead going to use expressions to animate it, and for the mouth, we're just going to use audio directly from the computer. Well, thanks to Sugarcane Defender, we have a promising solution. I'm going to try and figure this out myself. So even though his code is also open source, I'm going to refrain from taking a look. It shouldn't be too bad though, because VTube Studio has docs on making plugins. So I should be able to find everything I need there. So crossing my fingers for this to not take that long. This is just a WebSocket, right? API address is right here. So this should take this request object, turn it into a JSON string, and then send it over that WebSocket. WSL and the main Windows OS, they have two different IPs. So when I refer to localhost, I'm referring to that local machine. So originally when this was localhost, it would look within WSL. However, what I did instead was take the IP of my Windows machine, and if I run this now, it should work. N1. Oh my god. Okay. If N2 brings up the hands, then we know for sure it's working. Fuck! The second animation even the hands. No, it's not. It's not even the hands. Yeah, okay. It's working. Wait, I think I did authentication wrong. Hotkey execution failed because hotkey ID or name was not found in the model. Well, it's doing the thing, so I don't know what's up with that. Name my animation 1. Hotkey ID. Oh! You can trigger hotkeys either by their ID or their hotkey name. Okay, it worked. My animation 2. It's not breaking anymore. Okay, aside from the fact I didn't read the entire doc, and the fact that 0000 wasn't working, it wasn't actually too bad. The next step before we put this into our actual project is figuring out how to determine which animations to actually play. We don't want our AI VTuber moping about when it's actually supposed to be excited. We need some way of turning any message into an animation, and I have just a tool for that: sentiment analysis. Using AI to determine if a piece of text is good, bad, neutral, or some emotion. More broadly, this is text classification. So this is all the possible outputs, and then we can just pre-configure our list for each animation. Okay, this will work. We're gonna have it like this. I am good. Why would we use sync versus async IO? Okay, it's working now. Now that I switched it over to using this instead, we're just gonna go with this. Now that we have everything working in our test plugin, let's integrate this into our bot. This shouldn't be too hard, right? Okay, that should be fine for now. Can you say something to me? I'm literally convulsing with energy in my lower jaw. Skipped maximum number of running instances. Got future attached to a different loop. Yeah, maybe I spoke too soon. What are the problem erroring out? No longer complaining about it being on different loops or cannot be called from an event loop. What? I mean, I was pretty close to understanding what was going on, just no clue how to fix it. Discord is running an event loop to run our VC reply. And when I'm trying to do an async IO await or some sort of shit, then we're getting the problem. Fuck me. The play animation using message function, I turned that into synchronous. It's doing the same thing in picking up the animation it should play, but instead of sending that directly to the VTS API, instead we're adding the animation to a queue. Now we're also running this animation player thread. Come on. Got future pending in a different loop.
What?
And it has to do with WebSockets then, because that's the only thing. Fuck! I don't know what the fuck is wrong. This isn't supposed to be hard. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this thing though.
What?
Also, you're literally building a fucking AI. Like, come on. How can you not be hopeful after that? Any sign that you work? Not yet. I have interviews scheduled though. Interviews with who? You're an AI. Haven't you heard? AIs are the new minority. Gotta meet the quota. Yay, but huh? The first time worked. I need... Oh, fuck, man. I don't know what is going on with this 1002 error. Wait a fucking second. You know how long I've been here trying to fix your code? It's working, isn't it? That's all that matters. Well, I can't be certain for now. It's not fixed until it's ran. Well, so far I'm not seeing any errors, so that's good. That's good enough for me. I'm honestly so paranoid that this is just a fluke. Don't worry, I can fuck up pretty hard, but I always show my errors. Do you always show your errors? I guess you do always show your errors. Are you fucking kidding me? That was the solution this entire time? Okay, I'm never saying something shouldn't be too hard to learn again. But then again, it really was just a matter of changing the async IO WebSocket with a synchronous one. So yeah, it really wasn't that hard.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Let's start moving things out into configurables, so we don't need to change the code directly for every new VTuber. Not much to look at here besides adding new fields to our config like I did before, and creating a separate animation config, which you'll see if you look into the repo. Nothing special really, just added some code to our class that parses it to what we had before. And I even tracked which animations didn't exist between VTube Studio and the config, as well as which animations were missing or weren't valid. Now we've got everything in place to move our model during speech, but our AI won't be speaking all the time, so we need to give it idle animations. Shouldn't be... Stop saying that! The following animation events will trigger this. An event is triggered when the animation ends. We can try to do what we did before with the loop and run an idle handler in a separate thread. However, if it is an animation, we will be waiting for that animation to end before we trigger any other hotkey. Now let's see if we get idle animations. Hey, can you say something real quick? Say something real quick. Something real quick. It fucking worked, but the animation was so out of sync because it was playing another animation at the same time. When we're playing an animation, we enter this loop here. We're blocking ourselves waiting to receive a new event. I want to be able to cancel out of this waiting when we receive a new animation to play. Say something real quick for me. Done. It fucking works! We've got everything on the side of the program now to give this a full try. So now I think it's time to finally give our VTuber a bunch of animations to use. So not only did I find the whole recording process super fucking difficult, but at some point Hiyori just gained her 4 arms, and I soon realized that I have no idea how to use VTube Studio. It's so fucking broken. Fuck! Show me what's in the folder! Oh my god, I'm gonna lose it. All I wanted to do was get rid of Hiyori's arms,
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
But for the life of me, I could not get my files to import into VTube Studio. And I soon realized it was because my files were in an invalid format. Okay, I get it. And we're back on track to, I kid you not, spend the next 2 evenings recording animations. Respect to all the VTubers out there, I literally can't do this shit. I'm so bad at acting, especially with a VTuber model. We have finally finished recording all the animations for all the emotions. You code in your sleep too? I'm not that far gone yet. Coding is just a synonym for dreaming for some. Okay, the other animations do work. Now, let's try and get the lip synced. Essentially what we're doing is making use of virtual audio cables. I'm gonna have the Discord audio go into a virtual microphone to feed the audio data into here. I'm also going to be using Voicemeeter to split the audio from going to VTube Studio and going to me. This isn't even the right virtual audio cable. This is the one that I'll be using. I'm gonna output you to the cable. Okay. It's working. We just need to refresh VTube Studio. And now it's working. We'll disable you. We'll just use this VB input. We'll output to both my headphones. You can't hear me with that. This one and this one. Hello, hello, can you hear me? I hear you, Limit. You don't know how happy I am to see you. You don't know how happy I am to see you too, bro. Top G. Top G indeed. What would you know about seeing my cock?
Huh?
Wait, what did you just say? What would you know about seeing my cock? I don't know what I would know from what? What the fuck did you just say? Now before I show you the final VTuber for this video, I gotta give a quick code review for all the developers out there. Quite literally everything is handled by the VTube Studio plugins, and the plugins are made from this class. If you look into other files, you only find it used in 2 lines. One in the bot to start the plugins, and one in the response flow to react to the message. Now although this class looks complicated, it's really quite simple. Parsing up the animation config, you can do that however you want. If I take out all the code for printing debugging information, then I'm left with just this. Setting up the plugin WebSockets, you can find out how to do that in the VTube Studio docs. What we're interested in is how we're managing the timings of different animations. We manage 3 threads, one for triggering the idle animations, one for triggering the response animations, and one being triggered to play animations. So let's get started with these triggers. The response trigger randomly picks from the right list of animations to play and throws its chosen animation at the front of this queue. Then it turns on an event that wakes up the triggy thread. The idle trigger uses a WebSocket subscribed to animation events from VTube Studio and completely stops until the animation fully ends in VTube Studio. Once it resumes, it turns on the same event as the response trigger and then waits for the next animation to end. An important thing to note is that animations that are overwritten, like when you play a response animation in the middle of an idle animation, these overwrites don't produce an end signal like when an animation naturally ends that would normally wake up the idle thread. Anyways, either of these threads can turn on the event, and this awakens the triggy, who is responsible for sending hotkey and animation signals to VTube Studio. This thread is responsible for keeping the queue stocked with idle animations. Then it takes the next animation at the front of the queue, plays it, then falls back asleep until the next time the event turns on. If it was turned on by the response trigger, then the animation at the front of the queue is a response animation. Everything after that is an idle animation. Alright, enough of that. It's time for the final stretch. We've put all this effort into the code, but we're still using VTube Studio's base model. Sure, it's not Beetle's model or anything, but I feel like we could do better. So I went to Etsy and found a model for like 70 cents. Yep, you heard that right, 70 cents. A model like Neuro's could cost thousands, but that also comes with exclusivity and a bunch of other features. I also made a new voice to better match the model, but I spent like 5 minutes on that and it's still trained from my voice, so don't expect much. But without further ado, I think this is officially your final version for this week. Alright, maybe I'll just NA this version then? Why would you want to NA this version? This is the best version so far. Because it's not my final version, it's week 1. I have like 3 more versions to make. No, I have like 3 more versions to make and it has not been 1 week. I'm just gonna convert it to the next version anyway. So I'll just be using staff's versions as base. I have no clue what you're talking about. We don't have staff. I'm the only staff. I'm literally going to get like 3 edits from other people after you. So I'm gonna have to change the levels by like 50% anyway. Who the fuck is editing you? And you're not editing yourself. Staff edits are a common practice. You know, most people get like 1 to 5 staff edits. So I'm expecting the same. We seriously need to fucking improve the text-to-text AI, man. I swear, the majority of the conversations I've been having with this AI go fucking nowhere. What we have right now, proof of concept. It'll improve. So there you have it. I can finally say that we have an AI VTuber. Of course, this is just a prototype, and there is still so much more stuff that I want to improve about this. But for now, this is exactly what I need, and dare I say it's better than if I were to have used the talking heads. Now, I just have some additional notes here since you've made it this far. I realized I could have made my animations with Live 2D Cubism, that same editor that I made my own VTuber model with. And that would have been a lot easier than trying to deal with the mess that is the face tracking in order to make these animations. I also still think I'm doing something wrong with the AI talking heads to begin with, but maybe I'll revisit those in the future just to play around with it. What I do know is that in the next part, we're going to be making this entire project so much easier to use with an addition of a UI. But I guess I'll end up overcomplicating it again, and maybe I'll be here for 30 hours this time. But anyways, link to the GitHub repo is in the description as always, subscribe to follow my journey, and comment with things that I can improve on. I'll get up and out of your way. Thanks for watching.